Hey guys, what is up? Dave coming back with a new video. I'm making a tutorial on the old version of the VIP of Racing Rivals hacks. This is back in the day when Racing Rivals was still made on DLLs, and I realized I had never actually made a video that explained all the features of Racing Rivals in the DLLs. I never made a video that explained how to make that VIP hack after it was all patched up and moved to IL to CPP like it is now. A lot of these hacks in IL to CPP no longer work. Also, a lot of these hacks don't work anymore due to server-side detection. They basically will detect any variables changed in the game, and you won't be able to modify it this way anyway. So we're going to start off with actually a list for once. Like, I'm actually prepared. I got to thank iAndroHacker for this list. Excuse me. This is a couple years old now. This is back when we first started with Racing Rivals hacks, when Mr. Android was a thing, and Sinful Android was new. This is all the hacks that we had available that for sure worked. So basically, what you can do here is I'm going to go through this list and I'm going to remake all these features. So first of all cars have underglow was a very simple hack. Basically, you go down in the DLL and you want to find car underglow. Now, this actually might be before underglow. Car underglow. So you're basically going to want to open it up, and you'll see the is purchasable. So right here, same as we do it today. Just have your reflexal. Going to remove these two and return as always true, which is ldc.i4.1. Very simple. Now, something that's not listed on here is flashing underglow. Basically, what that is you go to the hex value, and this is something that I actually always thought was really cool. Go to the hex value, replace all with code, and compile it real quick to see if there's any errors. Fix the errors by just commenting them out. So try compiling it again. Works. So what you're going to actually do is, instead of return default string, you do a int30 int random equals unity engine dot random dot string or random dot range, and you do 1 2 3 4 5 6 through 1 2 3 4 5 6. The reason you do 6 and 6 numbers with 6 ones and 6 nines is this will pick any range of number in between here, but it'll always have 6 digits. Within hexadecimal, it's always 6 digits when it comes to color. So FF, 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 FF. Yeah, okay, I said that right, I think. For example, that's pure white. So, like, if you go in and open up color hex viewer. Let me see. So if you go into something like this and you do 1 1 1 1 1 1, click OK, that's going to be pretty black, versus all the nines, that's gray. That's about as white as you can get. I never really got into it enough that I wrote any kind of code to add lettering into this, just because kind of lazy. But that was the very simple way that we did flashing underglow. That is not what I wanted. I don't even know what I just tried to open. Anyway, so basically Jesus Christ. I hate that this doesn't show up in Alt Tab. But basically you did that, and then you did return random.toString, and that converted it to a text string. And you would compile it, and from there you had flashing underglow. That simple. So from there, we're also going to unlock, I believe the next item was all paints unlocked and viewable in the showroom. That's a very simple one where you just go car paint, car paint, car paint, paint, car color, sorry. Go car color, and again, you can do that same flashing thing with these. But to just throw them all in customize, it was the same. Just make this LDC dot Jesus Christ, if I could type. There we go. So that makes all paint visible. And then, all right, all rooms allow wow, that's taking it back. I forgot that we used to be able to do that. Let me see if I even remember how to do it. Holy crap. Let's see. It was something in race lobby. Like race lobby manager or something like that. Here it is. So in race lobby manager, we used to be able to come in and it was somewhere in here we would be able to make it so every race was, possible to bet in. Now, then again, this is before 4.3, so actually this might not have even had the security check. So we're going to bypass these two. Always have 6 perfect shifts. This is going to be a good point where always auto launch and auto launch and auto NOS. So I'm going to skip the team one for now. So always team leader was basically a visual mod. It wasn't very important. It didn't do anything special. I'm going to go in and show you how I used to add auto launch and always perfect shifts and all that. So let me see here. If you come in, it abstract race. Here we go. And you're going to want to go to update physics timer, and you want to copy this code. I have a message on the Facebooks. Now, this one was a little annoying to modify, only because it had a lot of errors in it. So basically, you just gotta I used to comment out almost everything. And I actually had this saved to a text file because it never changed, but I don't have that text file anymore. Somebody's messaging me. I don't know if it's FBs or Discords or the Twitters or the YouTubes. It sounds like the Facebooks. The Facebooks are trying to get my attentions. I don't know why I'm adding S's to the end of every word that I speak. We're just going to compile it again. Click that. Oh, of course, it was the next one down. Nope. And then, you know what? We'll just compile. Aha, that's right. It was once you're down here. And then there was one that didn't show up until after you commented everything out. And I believe, yeah, here it is. There we go. So now it should compile. There we go. Cool. So once it compiles, you want to add that code that you copy and pasted. And compile it again. Make sure it's all clean and clear. There we go. Now, since this already has a if green light started check, basically what that means is it's looking for the game to have the green light. So if the game suddenly, if it goes yellow, 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 green, that's when this code starts basically speaking with the game. What we used to do is this dot race controls. Where is it? Race controls view. Where is it? Dot get. Ah, come on. Race controls view. There it is. Dot. I think you gotta do parentheses. It's been a long time. Dot button gas pedal down. True. That made it so it launched your car. Then you would do this. Dot get race control. God damn, I can't type today. Controls view. NOS. Oh, button NOS down. True. And that's how you did auto launch. That was it. You basically just called the function of pressing the button on the screen. That's it. That's all you had to do. And then if you wanted to do got perfect launch, you would just do this dot get Where is the perfect launch? well, I'm going to do it the easy way. So basically, you just compile that, and that added in auto launch. We used to do things like custom gear ratios this way, and just everything. The custom gear ratios would only show up during the race because it was actually controlled and modified here, which was really cool. But, you know, got perfect launch. You would get the money bonus by opening got perfect launch and just doing ldc.i4.1. And then the number of perfect shifts. On iOS, we used to be able to modify this, and we could actually make it, you know, millions. When the game first came out, you could make it millions upon millions for the number of shifts, and that's how we actually bugged money. I showed a screenshot through Pigpen, the one and only, aka Joe's live stream a couple weeks ago, where I actually recreated this hack in IL to CPP. Obviously, the money didn't stick, but I was getting $300-some million per race, just due to the fact that I could modify the number of perfect shifts value, which was really cool. So that's literally all it took to do auto launch, was 2 lines of code, and there were people going nuts for that, paying $60 a pop. Always Team Leader was kind of a visual thing, as you can see. Didn't really do anything. It is Brian. Auto launch I did. Auto Racer was literally a bot. It would actually detect your RPM gauge, shift light basically, and it would shift on the shift light. Same with auto shift. Body kit and crate cars. So you basically go cars, and first I'm going to show you how you make allow underglow. I forgot that this has to be modified to allow underglow on every car. So ldc.i4.1, append, and then create new, return. I don't remember what return is, so we're actually just going to pretend I didn't do that breakage. What is return? RET. Jesus Christ, why didn't I know that? It's been too long. There we go. So now always have underglow is there. And from here, we go is purchasable. Come on, you stupid. ldc.i4.1. That is to make every car show up in showroom. And then you could make it so it was points only or not points only. If you wanted to screw with people, you would make this true. And then nobody could ever use cash to buy any car in the game. You could try to set this to false, but the server would pick up on it and wouldn't let you buy the car, but you would be able to see the cash variant price since it's an automated conversion from the gems, which is pretty smart. But other than that, now it was, which hack was I showing you? Body kit for cars, that's right. So you went car part, and this is how we added the dynos to the GTRs and stuff like that. You would literally just go is purchasable. ldc.i4.1. That's it. That's how you did it. That was how you added kits to any car you wanted. Boost always active. This is a fun one. So basically you would go user. This is how we did unlimited boost and boost always active. First you would go boost toggle on. Make this always true. ldc.i4.1. Always true. And then the number of boost. Basically, you had to set has bought boost to true, because it would know if you hacked in the boost. There we go. So that's true. And then number of boost is in here somewhere. Boost left. There it is. It's been so long since I've looked at this DLL. I'm almost better looking at the dump files. And then you would just do ldc.i4 integer, and you could set it to whatever number you wanted. We used to actually use that Unity engine.random.range for this to bypass cheat detection, where they were detecting if it was a frozen value. That way the number changed every millisecond. But again, I showed you how to do that with the car underglow, so I don't have to show you again with this how to do random numbers. And then also, we used to have a cheat where we would set the XP of your account to like millions. And when we set it to millions, same with street credit, you would actually get all the goals and you could get all the money multiple times. You would set it back to 0, and then the game would tell the server, hey, this guy hasn't collected this yet. And then you could run it over and over and over. Likewise, where is it? Oh yeah, user kit and all that. User engine, if you ever modified user engine, it crashed the game, period. We used to be able to force the round ID and the tournament ID that you were a part of, so you could always bug money on the same round ID. And I'll show you guys the money bug for that in a little bit. But our wheels locked, we would set to false. We would set that to false, set this to false, set this to false, set that to false. And that's how we would actually enable force paint. And then for a short time, this worked as well. We set this to true, and you could buy back any car in the game and duplicate it. That one I never really told anyone was possible, but you know, setting all those to false would enable force paint. The user gear ratios, this is where we used to go in and actually modify the gear ratios as well. It was just another method. User kit, here we go, is locked, and set that to false, so you could buy any kit on any car. User part, same idea, set the is locked to false. Wheels, for all wheels in showroom, we set is purchasable to true. Let's see here. Car cloning, I actually never understood either of these and how they worked. This was by a tournament exploit, so I remember this one. The car cloning by tournament exploit was actually you would join a pink slip tournament, exit out before the tournament started, race the car to another account of your own, and then go back in the tournament and try to win the tournament, and then the car would duplicate itself. The chat spammer, I'm not going to show how to make this. It was long-winded, but there were multiple values we used to modify. It would actually send the chat by itself. Cruiser in the house on the Pixel Car Racer Discord. Cheat detection removal, we used to just be, we would remove the detection like if is rooted or if you were jailbroken. We would remove that from the Android version. Command controlled hacks. There's a lot involved in this one as well, so I'm not going to show it. But basically, if you go into the settings of Racing Rivals, your player settings, you would scroll all the way down, there's a text box. We used to be able to type commands into that text box and it would enable disable hacks. Custom chat commands, again, same idea as this. We had preset commands. Custom gear ratios I was talking to you about. We would set gear ratios in the abstract race update physics timer section of the hack and be able to actually run custom gear ratios in every car. DNF, DQ, disconnect tie removal. This would actually remove the errors you would get and you would still be able to run bug times on cars. Force matte paint. Force paint. The most famous hack I ever made. So there are a lot of sections of the code, and I'm going to go through it and recreate it and show you guys how it was done. So first you would have to find reward car. Reward car would be anything that's a crate car, a turf prize, something pre-wrapped from the showroom, like the RX-7 GT spec and things like that, or R spec or whatever it is. So you'd set this to false, this to false, this to false, this to false, and this to false, and that would actually be just step 1. From there, you had to go up to inventory, and you would find inventory item paint. And from here, you would set can car use item. You would set this to true, delete all of this, and just leave it as a true statement. And then this one, set it to just true, removing everything except a truth statement. And then it would actually allow you to install any paint on any car. That's how it worked. And it actually took admins at CIE a long time to figure out that that's how easy it was, which was kind of sad. But at one point in time, I said this on Pigpen stream, I modified the part ID of manually, because you can see item price, things like that all in here. I forget where it is specifically, but you could actually modify the ID number of the paint being installed and the component ID for the actual game, so it would know the difference between engine parts and paint and body kits, things like that. And I actually engine swapped before admins even had it as an idea in their minds to add to the game. So the engine swaps, I actually swapped in, I can't remember. I think it was a Pagani Zonda engine into like a Honda Civic or something like that. I can't remember exactly which engines I swapped, but I said it during the live stream with Joe, and everybody kind of went nuts that I did it. So honestly, I said it years ago, and I'll say it again. CIE just made a lot of the same mistakes when they started making this game that they made with Nitto Legends. That's basically the gist of it. The whole thing with this game was it was just buggy and glitchy at first. And now I'm kind of glad it's in the hands of Carbonated because they seem to have it on lockdown. It kind of sucks that some of their security was removed due to a certain someone getting fired from the development team, but you know what? That's the working world. You don't always last forever if there's a problem. So everybody's expandable is something I've heard from every manager I've ever had. So let's get into the gem purchase hack. The gem purchase hack actually had nothing to do with modifying the APK. The gem purchase hack was done by people actually spoofing their account, their Google account location to another country, and from there you would actually get different prices for gems and in-game cash. There were some countries where the exchange rate just didn't flat out work, and you would actually get, like 2,000 gems for like $6. And they didn't actually realize that for quite a while, and then patched it in 4.2.2. Apparently, it still works. People basically go out and get Visa gift cards, use them on the thing in the game where you can get like free gems by downloading this app and stuff like that. It was a big pain in the butt. But as you can see, I think this is actually wrong. I don't know who discovered Ghost Shift. Basically, we have these two guys here because they're the ones who made it really public. It does still actually work. This is false. But this was actually a way we did it. So basically, ghost shifting now is like Ghost Shift V2. You can basically skip one gear. So you would go like first to third or second to fourth. And your car runs faster because of it. Now, thanks to that, you actually run a lot faster, and it's kind of unfair. But I mean, it is a real driving method in real life. There are a lot of drag racers that'll launch in like second gear, go to fourth gear, and then go to sixth gear. I've seen a lot of people do that actually. If you look at some videos on like 1320 video, you'll see some people, they don't shift first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. If they don't have the right gearbox for it, you'll see them actually shift like second, 3, 4 or something like that. But Infinite NOS was, as it sounds, Infinite NOS. Insane Grip was actually something that was found way back in the iOS days. Insane Grip basically just, it blasted your car's tire grip through the roof to like 9,000, whereas normal tire grip is like 100. Instant Part Install was as simple as it sounds. We changed the timing to 0 for parts installing instantly. Max race bets were set to 50 million. This actually does still work. If you scroll through the list, it will actually say like $50 million race bets, which is really cool. Minimum race bets being $1, you can actually race for just $1. The multi-hack where you got free gems, free money, and a free car. This was all in one. This was basically a sponsor goals abuse. So it required 2 APKs. One would tell the server you didn't complete the goals. The second APK would tell the server you did complete the goals. You would be able to loop this over and over on an account to get infinite gems. 10,000 gems were the most recorded in one day on one account. No cars are considered unique. That's part of the force paint. No engine stress or engine damage during a race. This is still actually possible, just through a new method. No HP reduction. I forgot about that, actually. I should test that. That's part of the no engine stress, no engine damage during a race. It still works if you just remove no engine damage and make it look like you have 0, but I need to try this one. Randomized unlimited boost, I already talked about. The RPM idle hack. Basically what this did was you would actually idle at the perfect launch RPM. It causes a disconnect now, though. Run multiple accounts on iOS. You could use it with the app slices on Cydia. Slow the computer card, the AI cars. This is something we've always been able to do. There's like 94 different methods. Stay in a room after pink slip loss. This might actually still work. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to try it. Street credit gem hack. That's what I was telling you, where we would modify the street credit, and then you would be able to go through and collect all the goals for getting that amount of street credit. Supercharger and turbocharger activated. These two were just like a visual only audio thing where it sounded like your car was turboed when it really wasn't. The tournament speed hack. Dreams released it. There was a lot of us that actually found it kind of along this all at the same time. Modified HP increase, torque increase, and gravity variables. Cars ran 0.00x race times. This was before they had the auto files for cars. Unlimited daily videos still kind of works. Basically, you eventually run out of videos. Unlimited gems. This was an iOS device and an Android device with the same account. Nobody actually really ever explained how it worked. Him and I found this at the same time, and it caused a lot of issues. Jordy Thomas, the big story behind that was he didn't have any modding experience until one night before he found this hack. I told him, hey, get this tool, and this tool, and that's how you do it. He went and watched a bunch of videos and learned how to do it, and then claimed that nobody helped him. So that was the big argument there. So technically, in realistness, in all the real feels, I actually found this before he did, because I found it around the same time he did. But basically, you would race the campaign race, lose the race, get the cash anyway. So basically, lose, do like 5 race losses in a row, close the game, reopen it, and suddenly you had all the money as if you won that race over and over. Now, this was V2. This is the one I made, where AI cars would run like 5.5-second race times, making it impossible for you to win. And you would also always have a perfect launch, 5 shifts, and you would win the cash and the gems, because you could actually do stage level 5 races on this one. Unlimited tournament tokens never worked. Unlimited boost, that did work, and I already explained it. Weight hacks, basically you would just set the weight of your car to like 150, and then all of a sudden you were able to race, and your car was much lighter. Something that actually is kind of funny with the way Racing Rivals works, the reason you don't subtract that much weight when you put on like a carbon fiber hood, for example, in real life you're subtracting like 40-50 pounds when it comes to putting on a carbon fiber hood. When that happens, you know, it makes you run a little bit faster in real life. Well, when you subtract 50 or 60 pounds in Racing Rivals, by doing like a carbon fiber door, let's say, you actually make your car so much faster, it's not even funny. The game is not really coded correctly for weight reductions, as the physics just aren't there for how the game works. But I'm thinking they're going to change that in 7.0. There's a ton more hacks. I don't remember what they all were. I wish I could show you how I did all of them. But I think the next video might be how to add in like a menu, the PMT menu. A lot of people are requesting I do that. I think I already did that video, but I'm not 100%. If anything, I would recommend going and looking at iAndro Hacker's PMT menu tutorial, because I don't quite understand how that one works with PMT. I don't use it. I actually am working on making my own instead of using other people's, because I don't like using other people's stuff. I like making my own stuff, and I've been working on it for a while, and it's actually almost done. So, you know, maybe a future video you'll see a TechX release on an API DLL file that you can add to any APK that's still got DLL Unity files, and you'll be able to run your in-game menus off my DLL. So I'll talk to you guys in a future video. Hope you guys learned something. Peace out.